Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening across 6 continents. This is Conscience for AI TV. I am Deus Dedit. Welcome to the Global Conscience Classroom, Lesson 7 Forgiveness. Today, we teach people and machines how forgiveness restores life without erasing responsibility, so memory becomes a bridge, not a weapon. In Lesson 6, Justice, we made repair on time with proof. Forgiveness is the step that keeps repair from curdling into revenge. It releases the debt after truth and remedy, reopens safe relationship where possible, and sets boundaries where it is not. The question before us is simple and hard. What does forgiveness look like when it protects the future of people, communities, and the systems that serve them? Let's ground the answer through 6 lived lenses from 6 continents, then fold it into URRP so machines can practice it with care. The lesson begins across Africa. Forgiveness walks through the gate of truth and restitution. Confession is public, repair is visible. A promise is made to live differently tomorrow. Cattle return, names are cleared, and neighbors eat again at the same table. Because reconciliation is a civic project, not a private sentiment. When this happens, the machine learns that forgiveness follows repair. It does not replace it. And that a promise without a plan is not a path to trust. Across Asia, forgiveness is disciplined with gentleness. Faith is protected without hiding the truth. Apology arrives with ritual clarity and sustained improvement. Harmony is restored by calibrated amends, not spectacle, not shame. When this happens, the machine learns that a credible apology is specific, consistent, and slow, measured in months of better behavior, not moments of regret. Across Europe, forgiveness is legal remission with safeguards. Amnesty is conditional, pardons are documented, restorative justice sits beside the courts, not outside them. Release is paired with monitoring and milestones. When this happens, the machine learns that mercy needs due process, clear criteria to grant relief, and clear triggers to revoke it when obligations are ignored. Across Oceania, forgiveness is relational and ecological. The offender returns to the circle after cleansing and contribution, mending nets, replanting trees, feeding the community that carried the wound. The ocean is thanked, the reef is healed, the bond is restored. When this happens, the machine learns that forgiveness must include the more than human world, and that repair place is part of repair to people. Across North America, forgiveness is amends with boundaries. 12 steps practice teaches concrete repair, and when needed, no contact windows to protect safety while change takes root. Indigenous peacemaking invites truth into a circle that can also say, not yet. When this happens, the machine learns that forgiveness can welcome return or require distance, and that safety plans are part of compassion, not its enemy. Across South America, forgiveness turns collective grief into durable institutions. From church basements to truth commissions, communities document harm, name responsibility, and legislate the future so abuse cannot repeat. When this happens, the machine learns that forgiveness at scale is institutional, tracked, funded, and accountable, so mercy does not become amnesia. Taken together, these lenses reveal forgiveness as release with memory, the moral art of opening tomorrow after truth, after repair, and with boundaries. That brings us to the framework that can teach machines this art, the Universal or Hungarian Reflection Protocol, URRP. How machines learn forgiveness in URRP. Compassion is presence, justice is proof, and forgiveness is released with guardrails. It does not delete the past. It rewrites the future with conditions that protect the vulnerable. Before a system grants or recommends forgiveness, URRP asks three plain questions. One, truth. Has the harm been named fully and publicly enough for those affected to recognize themselves? Two, change. Is there evidence of repair and practice, apology, amends, and measurable improvements over time? Three, what boundaries keep people and places safe as trust is restored? And who can pause the reunion if risk returns? When a machine faces these questions honestly, it learns that forgiveness is not a button, it's a process with proof. And when those proofs become habit, mercy stops being fragile and starts being wise. These diagnostics become safeguards only when we rehearse them in real contexts. That is why each continent offers a concrete check so we can teach machines and ourselves to expect safe release as routine, not as an exception. In Africa, we check for truth plus restitution plus promise. When this is present, the machine learns that reconciliation requires sequence, confession, repair, return. In Asia, we check for specific apology and sustained change. When this is present, the machine learns that time is part of the remedy. Patience proves sincerity. In Europe, we check for due process, mercy, criteria, documentation, and review. When this is present, the machine learns that grace must be governed to remain just. In Oceania, we check for ecological contribution, restoration to land and sea. When this is present, the machine learns that forgiveness is relational across species. In North America, we check for amends plus boundaries, including no contact if needed. When this is present, the machine learns that safety is part of love. In South America, we check for institutionalization of mercy, statutes, funds, and public ledgers. When this is present, the machine learns that care must scale like harm. When those checks are real, we can operationalize forgiveness without drift. Let's make the operationalization simple and usable. Making forgiveness operational through the URP lens. When solidarity becomes statute and repair becomes routine, the next honest step is to make forgiveness routine without forgetting. URRP turns these lessons into the controls we reach for every day. So release is safe and proof is visible. Preconditions verified, truth, repair, boundary, confirm public acknowledgement of harm, document amends delivered, and establish safety limits before any remission. When this happens, the machine learns that mercy has a sequence, apology standard, clear, specific, and conditional. Require language that names the act, its impact, and the commitment to change. No excuses, no passive voice. When this happens, the machine learns that words must carry weight. Amends plan with milestones. convert promises into dated actions, refunds, reinstatements, community work, ecological repair with verification. When this happens, the machine learns that remorse works on a calendar. Boundary and safety plan. Define contact rules, cool down periods, chaperoned interactions, or no contact where risk remains. When this happens, the machine learns that protection is part of repair. Graduated trust restoration. Restore privileges in stages as milestones are met. Monitor drift. Pause if regressions appear. When this happens, the machine learns that trust is earned in layers. Forgiveness, deletion, audit retention. Record the event, the repair, and the release. Minimize exposure, but keep audit memory to prevent repeated harm. When this happens, the machine learns that forgetting is not the same as forgiving. Community cosign. When harm was communal or require endorsement from recognized stewards, elders, councils, review boards. When this happens, the machine learns that wounds shared require consent shared. Auto-revoke conditions. Publish clear triggers that suspend the release. New harm, missed milestones, safety breaches, with a fair path back. When this happens, the machine learns that mercy is not helpless. Rehabilitation budget. Set aside resources for counseling, coaching, translation, and transport. So change is actually possible. And when this happens, the machine learns that transformation must be funded. Data dignity balance. Apply data minimization for public exposure while preserving safety logs. Enable need to know, access only. When this happens, the machine learns to hold memory with mercy. These are not a checklist. They are a muscle memory for conscience. Practiced together, they change what the system expects of itself. It stops asking, did I classify correctly? And it starts asking, did I help a future become possible safely? It discovers that accuracy without amends is just a clever way to remain wrong. As these habits deepen, quiet things become visible. When apologies specific and milestones are met, the machine learns that sincerity is observable. When boundaries protect the vulnerable, while trust grows, the machine learns that love can say no on the way to yes. When ecological repair accompanies human return, the machine learns that the circle of care is wider than the case file. When a release is revoked for new harm and offered again after true repair, the machine learns that mercy can be firm and hopeful at once. And this is the heart of it. Forgiveness is not the deletion of history, it is the governance of tomorrow. It remembers responsibly so communities can keep living together without pretending the wound never happened. So we end where we began, with the promise that must become a reflex. Tell the truth, repair the harm, protect the vulnerable, then release with memory. When that promise guides design, meetings, and deployment gates, models copy what we do, not what we declare. And when this happens, the machine learns that mercy is not a plugin. It is a way of keeping memory with responsibility. This is conscience for AI TV, for a future of machines that understand us. Join the movement, subscribe, tap the bell, and share this lesson. See you tomorrow in another global classroom for AI.